Hey guys, Tommy here. In this video, I'll be talking about, is it too late to invest in Ethereum, Bitcoin, or other cryptocurrencies? This video is not investment advice, again, just my own perspective. And the video is also not going to be perfect, I know it, but I think you guys will like this. So I approach cryptocurrencies from a longer term perspective. And a vision I kind of had there that I'll share with you is back in early 2014, I was just kind of walking around at nighttime, and this is just a picture, but it's something like this. And I just kind of noticed everyone going along their way. And my thought was, it was a powerful thought. It's just imagining if someone put $100 in cryptocurrency or Bitcoin in 2009, that in 2013, that $100 would become worth $100 million. And I'm just watching everyone just kind of go about their way, and thinking about how people go to work every day and, they have these routines. And if they can just put $100 in, which is possible for most people in the Western world to do, just the fact that first of all, they wouldn't have to work anymore again, and not to mention the wealth it would bring them. So, and of course, they're doing nothing either. The money grew on their own. And that's kind of a different subject, how putting your energy in things helps those things grow. But the point is, as you know, they're not doing anything besides having put their money in there. So I want to share that vision with you. I thought it was really powerful to me and still is to reflect on. So, okay, moving on. So one thing I'll mention here too is I do not see cryptocurrency as, like a get rich quick or like an overnight thing. And let me explain that. I talked to someone who wanted to put $10,000 in cryptocurrency and wanted to double it in a month. And I'm sure I just kind of got the vibe he wants to, at that point, sell it and move on. And that to me kind of scares me. And I would tell you that is not the right way to approach cryptocurrency. And it's really dangerous because this cryptocurrency is an opportunity to make some really good returns in a shorter period of time. By that, I mean years. But rather than, say, a 40-year retirement plan that most people are on, you can help yourself retire, say, in 5 years or something. And I'll elaborate on that a little bit. But I would say if you're getting into this to try to make just really quick money in the next month or so, I'd be really careful with that approach too. Right now, prices are high. So if we corrected out of this, depending on which cryptocurrencies are in, you could lose the majority of that. And to be turned off to it just because you got in at the end, you don't see the long-term potential, is dangerous. So I just want to say that. And just to let you guys know too, I personally experienced that too. I was conscious of cryptocurrency in 2012, but I saw the bubble happen, the first 2013 bubble in cryptocurrency around March. And I saw it go up to $200, crash to 100, and I thought to get in, but it didn't go low enough for me. And then 6 months later, in late 2013, it went to $1,000. So I watched Bitcoin go from $10 to $1,000 in 2013, and it was at the end of 2013, after the second surge of that year, that it basically kicked my butt to get in. So I actually made my first major investments in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency at the end of 2013, at the end of that bubble. So, and just so you guys know, that next year was something that we never saw in cryptocurrency before. There was a bear market for a whole year, was going down. We never saw that before. So I sat through the whole thing. At some point, my losses, I feel like, were on some of them like 90%. So, but because I saw and understood the potential of this, my overwhelming feeling was that I just wanted to accumulate as much as possible at those lows, because I knew at a certain point it would rebound. And of course it did. So I was just buying everything I could at those low times. But I want to share my experience with you guys so you know what I went through. And by the way, for any of you guys thinking, why did you buy at those highs? Well, just to show you here on this chart, this downside section didn't exist at the time. So imagine if you just cut off the chart here and you just see this, if you just see the growth here, it looks like astronomical growth, and the last bubble did not have that severe of a correction. So for me, it was worthwhile to get a position into it because I saw the long-term potential. Yes, it was painful and the downside, and obviously we have a lot more experience now in that, and we kind of see cryptocurrency growth. I see it as a decaying rate of growth, but still very high, and I see that as we evolve in cryptocurrency. It's essentially how this chart illustrates. So again, I would emphasize to you guys, if you want to play the short game in it, fine, but understand the really high risk there that you could potentially lose 90% of it or even more. But the real value in this is the longer term game that, look at it, again, the mentality I like, and again, it's not investment advice, just my mentality toward it is like looking at it like a 5-year retirement plan rather than your traditional 40-year retirement plan where, just put what you can from your paychecks aside into this, and that wealth can really build to be enough that you don't have to work or trade your time for money, I should say, again, in the future. Okay, so another subject that I've seen here, especially if you guys are new to this industry, is cryptocurrency growth over? Like, is this the bubble and now it's over? And the answer to that is no, and I'll build on that. I pay a lot of attention to the growth rate of cryptocurrency and where we kind of are in it, and we are still very early in it. So currently adoption of cryptocurrency is around 20 million users, about 0.3% of the population. So it's really kind of funny, and the growth rate is about doubling every year. Probably a little bit less than that, but it's just kind of a good rule of thumb. This is the history and growth rate of the internet. So it's very interesting right now. It's really funny. We correlate with the growth rate of the internet itself quite well. So here we are around 20 million users. I'll say too, when I first got in cryptocurrency, we were around, I would say 500,000 to 1 million users. So we've really grown. And just this last bubble we've added millions of users just in the past couple months, quite a bit. So these bubbles help adoption, they surge adoption. So again, when I talk about the bubbles that are occurring, there's not just one bubble in cryptocurrency, there's numerous of these bubbles. This is the chart that I've seen go back the farthest possible, and it still doesn't go back that far. But this one goes back to July 2010. But these I see as bubbles. They're bubbles and then they pop, and we're in a bubble right now. And I think there's a lot of hype in the field right now. I think eventually the hype will come down over the next couple months. And then a lot of people will forget about it. Those of you guys who are smart and want to retire, I guess, you'll keep paying attention to it and add what you can. And that's one of the best times to buy, by the way. How long do those down cycles last? It depends. I mean, they've been varying amounts. This last one was ridiculous. We had 3.5 years from peak to peak. But in the older ones, it was 6 months or a year. So it could happen. And the next bubble could happen 6 months, a year, or longer than the last one. It could take 5 years, say, or even more to happen. So just to kind of give you an idea of what's going on there. So yeah, as I mentioned, we're at about 20 million users, and the growth rate patterns the adoption of the internet quite well. So if you just imagine that doubling every year, 20 million users this year, 40 million the next year, then 80 million, then 160 million, then 300 million approximately. So in about 5 years, it'd be at about 300 million. This is very similar to what the internet did. And if you guys, I'm sure you've heard of the dot-com bubble. The dot-com bubble occurred around the year 2000, like late 1999. So that's an interesting note there is I think we'll no doubt see a bubble. We'll see more bubbles to come. But those are the kinds of bubbles that will be insane, I imagine, like the dot-com bubbles where we're really hitting a large level of adoption. Yeah, so those are times to come. So all in all, you guys are still early in this game. Again, I feel like it's like the internet was in 1995. So, and on that note too, I know there's some people ask me and whatnot. Yes, I see cryptocurrencies going into the trillions in market cap in the coming 10 years or so. Right now, we're at about 100 billion market cap. You're 103 billion market cap today. I see this number going into the trillions in the next 10 years. So it's a really good space to be in. So let's see what else I want to mention to you guys. So what would be a good way to approach this? What's a good strategy? I would say, unless you're already in the millions, unless you have holdings already in the millions of cryptocurrency, I would say a good approach is take what you can out of each paycheck and put it in. This is what I did when I was, investing in cryptocurrency throughout this downtime. I was working at the time. I put, everything I could in cryptocurrency. I tried to live frugally, and there's a balance in there. You have to enjoy life, but there really are some expenses that are, really just frivolous. So I just tried to invest what I could. I had faith that would grow very well. So, just imagine, I took some historical snapshots, which I'll show you in a minute, but here we are in late 2013 or even around January 1st, 2016, Ethereum was around less than $1. Let's just say it was $1 for ease, thinking about it. So if it was $1 then and it's $300 now, understand if you just took $1,000 out of your monthly pay and put it in Ethereum, a year and a half later, now that's worth $300,000. This is kind of life-changing stuff. So on that note too, let's say you're in a country where you don't make as much, or maybe you just don't make that much in the US or have that much extra money to put aside. Even if you put $100 toward it in a month, $100 would have become $30,000 in the past year and a half. And if you're living off less money, then that could be equally as life-changing amount of gain for you. So that's the point I really want to convey to you guys. I mean, we did see a huge increase in the past year and a half, and it may not be in the next year and a half that we see those type of gains. It may take longer or whatnot, but you kind of get the idea. Let's see here. So one funny thought here I want to share with you guys is too, when Ethereum came on the scene. That's one thing I want to mention. There's all these ICOs right now going on, and a lot of them, we never heard about them until right when the ICO starts, and I have no doubt the majority of those are going to fail. So Ethereum was something that was on the scene for months before the ICO, and that's something I want to share with you guys. These big projects that really are changing things should be getting a fair amount of attention. So just something to be aware of. As a kind of a rule of thumb, not always, but keep that in mind. But the point is, even after Ethereum was released on the market, nothing was going on. Look at these months. These are all about a month apart. I took some snapshots. August 23rd, 2015. September 20th, we're at 88 cents. A month later, we're at 54 cents. Went down. A month later, November, now we're at about $1. In December, we're back down to 85 cents. This is several months here of history. And the point I want to convey to you is most people are not looking. They're walking by Ethereum. They see it and they don't care. And cryptocurrencies at large, by the way. They're just ignoring the assets. I saw the potential in this, and obviously other people did too. But the vast majority of the world did not. And that's the point I want to convey to you is it's a funny thought. I want to share that feeling with you guys because it will come sooner or later again that people forget about cryptocurrencies. And it's when you see the value of something and other people don't, that's when you're getting a really good deal on these things. So these are the times that you should be buying. And this is the true test of dedication. A lot of my friends were excited in the last bubble, but then, the 3.5 years ago, then forgot about it. I didn't. I saw the potential. I knew what cryptocurrency could do. So, and it was painful. Again, hanging out in that bear market, we never experienced that. We didn't know. Who knew? I didn't think it would take 3.5 years for the next bubble. So, but lo and behold, it's coming, it's happened now. And just to note on that too, again, my passion is seeking the best investments in the world. And the only type of investments that I see with these types of gains are venture capital type investments. If you're an early investor or like a seed investor, saying something like Snapchat or Facebook or Uber. So I pay attention to the best investments, and I don't see anything better in the world. And if I do, then I will probably move on to that realm. But I have not seen anything better for years, again, except for the potential of these type of venture capital investments. And by the way, most of those investments are closed off to the general public. You have to kind of be in the in group to get in on those investments anyway. So to kind of conclude this video, again, we're looking at, is it too late to invest in cryptocurrencies? I'd say, although the prices are high right now, the key is to have a long-term approach toward it. Look at it as, again, a 5-year thing. The prices may be high right now, but because maybe you just discovered cryptocurrency, you want to get some exposure into it, that's fine. Go ahead and get a little exposure. But I'd say if I were you, I'd plan on, kind of dollar cost averaging over time. Keep investing in it over the coming years until the point where you have enough money that you no longer have to trade your time for money. So, and I want to close this by saying we are so blessed to live in this day and age. Like, these kind of opportunities didn't exist for, our parents or certainly our grandparents. They didn't have these kind of opportunities, or it's certainly not our ancestors before. So we're extremely blessed, and I think that's really important to focus on. I share these videos to you guys out of love and good karma, just trying to spread, give goodness to you guys. I hope it helps you. I hope, hopefully you can kind of see my mentality toward this, my approach toward this, which I think is pretty strong. So that's it for this video. If you guys like it, hit the like button. If you haven't yet, subscribe. I wish you guys the best. I'll see you on the next one.